We are all aware of numerous criminals and have seen or heard stories about them. But today we're going to talk one of the most heartless and sadistic killers to have ever walked the face of this earth. This man has no sense of regret or compassion. The thrill of murder is similar to an addiction to him. Welcome everyone. In today's video, we're going to look at the disturbing case of Jaime Osuna. Although there are numerous murders in Kern County every year, Yvette Pina's death at a motel in Bakersfield attracted particular attention. In addition to being particularly gruesome, her 2011 murder was also notable for the heavily tattooed, cold-hearted man who eventually admitted to carrying it out. Jaime Osuna, 34, has a pentagram and the Joker smile tattooed on his forehead. There isn't much of his face that isn't covered in tattoos. In interviews with the journalist Olivia Lavois, Osuna discussed the rush he felt when he killed Pina, whose torture murder he admitted to, and for which he was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Before the trial started, Osuna told The Voice, "I recognize myself as one who is not afraid to indulge himself without the consequences and let society mold him into. As laws change and as society changes, people change with it." He declared, "I'm self-made, and I'm proud of it." Murder gives Osuna a rush, and it's claimed that he engaged in it once more after Pina's passing. Police were called to the Bakersfield El Morocco Motel on November 13, 2011, in response to a report of a body being discovered in a room. Pina, a mother of 6 who was struggling financially and residing in the motel, had sustained a number of gruesome wounds. Pina died of blunt force injuries, sharp force injuries, and asphyxia, according to coroner's officials. Without going into specifics, prosecutor Nick Lackey stated that Pina had suffered truly horrific injuries. 5 days later, after surrounding his apartment in West Bakersfield, police detained Osuna. He entered a not guilty plea to first-degree murder among other charges, and his case proceeded through the legal system gradually. Osuna consented to an interview with Lavois in 2017. When Osuna announced he was going to enter a guilty plea and admitted to killing Pina, the reporter was taken aback. He insisted that he wasn't doing it to spare Pina's family the suffering of a protracted trial during which disturbing images would be shown. Rather, he simply preferred to go to prison than remain in the county jail. Osuna was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole on May 14, 2017, following a hearing in which he made fun of Pina's family by smirking and rolling his eyes as they explained the suffering Osuna had caused them. He gave the sentence a thumbs up as Judge John S. Summers delivered it. He was taken out of Kern County and placed in the care of the State Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation in the days that followed. It wouldn't take long for him to once more be covered by the media, this time on a national scale. Osuna was taken to Kings County's Corcoran State Prison. Luis Romero, 44, who had served more than 20 years in prison for fatally shooting a woman in Los Angeles, was eventually assigned to be his cellmate. Luis Romero is depicted in this March 13, 2018, photo released by the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. According to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, on the morning of March 9, 2019, Corcoran guards entered their cell and made the shocking discovery that Osuna was wearing a necklace made from Romero's body parts, while Romero had been beheaded, had had an eye stabbed out, and had had other body parts removed. Blood was all over the walls. Written in cursive, the phrase "the man with 1,000 faces" was also written on a wall. Osuna received the attention he sought. In articles describing the horrifying crime and Osuna's criminal past, his mugshot was published across the country. In a courtroom, a number of hearings were held. In May 2020, Osuna interrupted the judge and the attorneys during a hearing. Osuna declared, "I don't want a preliminary hearing. I want to confess to murder." He also admitted to 2 additional murders, "But I can't tell you about those. You'll find out. I always need to have an ace up my sleeve. See, I'm going to be sentenced to death if I'm found guilty of this. I'll likely serve 10, 15, or more years when I travel to San Quentin. I'll probably leverage that for myself. I'll repeat the process several times if I can go back and make changes. And if I get out, I'll probably come back with the same cause. This is what he told in his last interrogation. Later, he was also taken to psychiatrists and came to know he has been diagnosed with unspecified schizophrenia spectrum, antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Later, Romero's mother sued the prison sergeant who had put her child in Osuna's cell. He is currently incarcerated serving a life sentence. How someone can take pleasure in murder and find it satisfying is the question. Don't you think he was one of the most gruesome, bizarre, and terrifying criminals of all time? I suppose there will be a Netflix documentary about him sooner or later. That's all for today's video. Feel free to share any helpful information we've missed in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos from our channel. Thanks for watching and see you all soon.